Hello, this is Tom Crandall from Gear Mashers, and today we're going to be working on the Tacx Neo. So we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance. Last year they had a hub called the EDCO or EDCO, and the company that produced that particular hub isn't producing anymore, so Tacx had to come up with a different solution. So what they came up with is something very similar. But they have one that works with Shimano, and then Shimano and SRAM, and another one that works with Campy components. And so if you have two bikes, one being Campy and another one being Shimano or SRAM, you're going to have to use two different hubs. So just remember, you're going to have to switch those out if you want to utilize them, because what this thing does is it allows you to put the cassette on here, and then that's what's going to go on to the trainer itself. So I'm going to be switching out the EDCO hub for this new one that was sent to me by Tacx. And so the tools that you're going to need are, you're going to need either a chain whip or a chain wrench. I prefer these chain wrenches, really easy to use. And you're also going to need something to remove the cassette lock ring. And so this one has a hole in it, so I don't even have to take off the skewer if I don't want to, which is pretty cool. And so these two are by far my favorite tools when working with cassettes versus the chain whip and something else. You're also going to need a 5mm Allen wrench to be able to remove the free hub. And you're also going to need some type of grease. And so I'm using Phil's waterproof grease. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to switch it off from here, and we're going to take a look at the trainer. So just stick with us and we'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, we're back. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the skewer here. Just take that off. Okay, put those down. So this is the lock ring that holds the cassette onto the trainer itself. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use this tool, and we're going to use our little chain wrench to loosen it. And I think I've already loosened it, so it'll probably be really easy. Yeah, okay. So pretty easy to take off here. So there's that. Just set that down. And now it's time to remove the cassette. With removing the cassette, you just pull it out. This one's probably on there pretty tight. Okay, remove that. And we got a little ring here. Because I have a 10-speed, I had to use this to create some extra space. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 5mm hex wrench, and we're going to put in here and try to loosen it. Okay, loosened it up. So we're just going to take that. You will get a little dirty, as you can see here. And then this should be able to pull right off. And so here's what this one looks like. It's a little bit different. It has some different ridges and things like that on here than this one that we're going to be mounting on. This one's considerably lighter than this one. I don't know if that's going to make any difference, but and it looks like they have different bearings in here as well. Both are sealed, but this will make it a lot easier to put on the cassette if you have a Shimano or SRAM versus this. I just found this one to be sort of a pain. You can see here there's some little bit of notches where the cassette was probably ramming up against it. Okay, so let's see, we got this other little tube here that we also remove, and so now we can just sort of clean this out, and it's actually greased pretty well, looks like. Okay, I'm just cleaning it up a bit. All right, So now I'm just going to apply some grease on here. So I just take some with my hand and just put it along in here. Really grease it up nice. Everything else looks pretty clean on this. I'll grease this as well. Okay. Okay. And now I can, I'm going to re-grease this. Just clean it up a little bit. And just put some grease on there. Just sort of wipe it around with my hand. Put some grease in the middle as well. And I'll just slide that back on. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is, this is already pre-greased, it looks like. So I think we're pretty good there. Actually, that was the old one. Okay, so here. And so there's these little notches that we'll probably have to push in order to get this thing on there. Okay, so there was already one of those on there. It looks like it's the same, so we'll just, yeah, okay. And so we just need to push these notches down. We should be able to slide it in. There we go. Sounds pretty good. All right. And so, again, I'm going to put this, starting with this one. And with these, you should be able to line it up. It looks like this one doesn't have anything. So you're just sort of lining it up until it fits here. Let's see. All right, so they gave us another lock ring. We're gonna, or another spacer. We'll try one of those instead. Yeah, okay. Just make sure it's a little thicker. Let's see if we can get this on here. Sure if we're going to be able to get this back on. And this will go on, no problem. Well, we'll try it with this one, and we may have to come back and put a different one on. So now it's sort of a process of just sort of putting these back in. What's cool about this new freehub is there's this little notch here versus the other ones are wide, and so what you can do is just sort of match that up with the cassette. So here's the small little notch, and so it slides right on. Super easy. Now this particular cassette has some spacers, so as I put it on, I have to remember to put on the spacer. And looking for that little notch there. You can see that this goes on really easy. And next time I have to maintenance, it'll be a lot easier to pull the cassette off than the other one. Go. And this last one. right here. All right, looking pretty good. And so now here's our lock ring, and this one doesn't fit on here. Okay, I'm back. I actually had to get a different lock ring. The one that I had, this is a SRAM lock ring, so luckily I had that, and so I can just screw that in, lock it all up. Either a SRAM or a Shimano lock ring should work. Okay. That sounds pretty good. And so now what we're going to do is we have this that needs to go back on. Let me grease this up too, just in case. Nice. And so we'll use our 5mm. Make sure that's nice and tight. Seems pretty good. And now we're going to use our cassette wrench and our lock ring. Make sure that's we're good there. And I think we're done. And that's it. So this Tacx Neo now is a 2018 model, essentially. That's the only real difference I know so far with the Tacx units is the actual body. So we've removed the old EDCO body here and replaced it with a SRAM Shimano body. And I think we're good to go. So I'll have to test this out to make sure that I did everything right, but I think we did. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them on our website. We'd love to hear from you. And let us know what your experience is on the Tacx Neo, if you've run into any issues. I found their tech support, they usually return emails within 24 to 48 hours, and they've been really responsive. I emailed them about the new body. I wanted to test it out, and within I think 2 weeks or so I had a new body, and now I was able to put it on there. So I'm gonna go ride today and see how it goes. Thanks so much.